Are you interested in growing an Alocasia? Well, in this video from the Daily Eco, we explain everything you need to know about this plant and how to take care of it. Recommended location. The Alocasia plant can be grown both indoors and outdoors, but only if you live in a warm climate. This plant does not tolerate frost or severe cold, so if you want to grow it outdoors but the winters in your region are cold, it is best to bring it indoors for the winter and take it back outdoors in the spring. If the plant is outdoors, find a large spot where the soil provides good drainage. If the plant is indoors, keep it away from heat sources such as stoves and heaters that could dry it out. Always use clay pots, not plastic pots, as they drain excess moisture better. As for light, if the plant is indoors, it needs a bright room, but protected from direct sun. However, if the plant is outdoors, it needs a shady or semi-shady spot. If you live in a hot climate like the Mediterranean, place it in the shade to avoid damage from the summer sun. How and when to water. This plant needs to be watered very frequently. Watering it daily is essential if the plant is outside, but be careful not to flood the soil or substrate, because if you do, you will seriously damage and eventually kill the plant. During the warm months, water the plant daily without ever allowing the substrate or soil to dry out completely. Pots with a water tank are highly recommended for this plant. In the cold months, you can reduce the frequency of watering a bit, but you should keep an eye on the plant in case its leaves show signs of dryness. Before we continue, let us put this statement to the test. The plant GIANT TARO is poisonous. A. True. B. False. Think about it carefully, because at the end of the video you can check if you were right. Ideal substrate and fertilizer. It is important that the plant has soil or substrate that drains well. It is essential that the soil does not become waterlogged despite frequent watering. Also, the plant absorbs a large amount of nutrients from the soil, so you need to fertilize it regularly. We recommend the use of ecological fertilizers such as earthworm humus or compost, which you can add once a month, especially if the plant is outdoors. If the plant is indoors or in a pot, you can prepare a substrate with coconut fiber, earthworm humus and peat in equal pots, as well as a good amount of vermiculite and perlite. In this way, you will get a very nutritious and well-drained mixture. For best results, you can add a little bit more earthworm humus or compost twice a month during the warm months. How and when to transplant. Alocasia needs to be transplanted about every 2 years if it's grown in a pot. This should be done during winter when the plant is dormant. Replant it in a larger container with good soil mix to keep it growing healthy and strong. Alocasia plant problems. If your plant develops small leaves during the flowering period, do not be alarmed. This is a natural occurrence with the plant, and once the season is over, it will develop normal-sized leaves again. If you see the leaves turning yellow, it could be because the leaf is old and the plant is preparing to change leaves. However, your plant may also be infested with a pest such as the red spider mite, and you will need to treat it. And going back to the question we asked you before, have you thought it through? The correct answer is A. The GIANT TARO plant is toxic and can cause irritation and reactions on contact with skin. So it is very important to keep it away from pets and small children to avoid accidents. So let us know in the comments if you would like to grow an Alocasia at home, and until next time.